The real thing. Let me say that again. The real thing. Do you know what it is? I'll explain that in a moment. But let me invite you and welcome you to the program Reach for Life, because this is a great program that helps us look at various things that affect young people, that helps us listen to the conversation, helps us learn, but also live. We have great truths in the program Reach for Life and have a team of great friends, Ogi, Angana, Melinda, Monica, and Busisiwe. Now, I just mentioned the real thing a moment ago. There is a difference between being in love and real love. Being in love, having strong romantic feelings for someone, is a wonderful feeling. The problem is that we confuse it with real love. Do you know the difference? In love is something that happens to you. You don't try to fall in love. It just happens, like when you're walking along and you fall. Real love is something that you choose to do. In love is a feeling. Real love is an act of the will. In love focuses on your own happiness. Real love focuses on the well-being of the other person. In love craves immediate satisfaction. Real love is patient and willing to sacrifice. In love wants pleasure and intensity. Real love seeks to grow in trust and friendship. In love sees only your imagined idea of the person. Real love sees who the person really is with all of their weaknesses and problems. Anyone can be in love, but only a person who is emotionally and spiritually mature can really love.
Today I'm going to be reading from the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 13 from verse 1 to 13. Suppose I speak in the languages of human beings or of angels. If I don't have love, I am only a loud gong or a noisy cymbal. Suppose I have the gift of prophecy. Suppose I can understand all the secret things of God and know everything about Him. And suppose I have enough faith to move mountains. If I don't have love, I am nothing at all. Suppose I give everything I have to poor people. And suppose I give myself over to a difficult life so I can brag. If I don't have love, I get nothing at all. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not want what belongs to others. It does not brag. It is not proud. It does not dishonor other people. It does not look out for its own interests. It does not easily become angry. It does not keep track of other people's wrongs. Love is not happy with evil, but it is full of joy when the truth is spoken. It always protects. It always trusts. It always hopes. It never gives up. Love never fails, but prophecy will pass away. Speaking in languages that had not been known before will end, and knowledge will pass away. What we know now is not complete. What we prophesy now is not perfect. But when what is complete comes, the things that are not complete will pass away. When I was a child, I talked like a child. I thought like a child. I had the understanding of a child. When I became a man, I put the ways of childhood behind me. Now we see only a dim likeness of things. It is as if we were seeing them in a foggy mirror. But someday we will see clearly. We will see face to face. What I know now is not complete, but someday I will know completely, just as God knows me completely. The three most important things to have are faith, hope, and love, but the greatest of them is love.
But the greatest of them is love. I don't have to say much here. Thank you, Angana, for reading that portion. Hey, 1 Corinthians chapter 13, a chapter of love. Melinda, what do you have for us in the program Reach for Life?
So what do we learn from this scripture? God is loving. That's why He wants us to follow the way of love. He wants us to have relationships that are based on real love, not just being in love. Being truly loving is the most important thing in life. It is more important than having special abilities, gifts, and talents. It is more important than achievements, than dazzling acts or being some kind of a superhero. We see this from verses 1 to verse 3. Part of growing is learning to love people. We find this in verse 11. While on earth, faith, hope, and love are all important. But in heaven, we won't need faith. Everywhere we look, God will be there. And we won't need hope. The dream of God's kingdom will have come true. But in heaven, we will love and be loved forever and ever. But here on earth, as we learn about God's love for us, we can learn to love others. Verses 4 and 5 tell us that real love is patient. It is not jealous or self-seeking. That means we should think again about how we go about dating. Do you date people because you are lonely? Or because you want to look or feel good? Or maybe because of what you can give to others for their benefit? Do you judge people based on their looks, or do you look at their character and relationship with God? Do you treat people in the same way Jesus would treat them? Are you ready for real love? The kind of love that will stick with one person for life? If not, then why bother dating? It may be better to be single until you are ready. Until that time, you can grow your love for God and God's people. You can learn to be a better friend and a family member, and you can discover how to serve the people in your life.
Thank you, Melinda, for the lessons from the passage we heard earlier on. But we now turn to Monica, Ogi, and Busi for the conversation.
Now, we are talking about something we are all interested in.
Yes, most of the songs we listen to are about being in love with someone.
Or about having your heart broken by someone. There are even more songs about that.
Which makes me think that celebrities don't have a lot to teach us. These movie stars and musicians seem to be always going through breakups and divorces. That's why I love today's Bible passage. It teaches us what real love is.
Getting together with someone can be very exciting, but if we don't have what it takes to make relationships work, then what is the point?
I agree. I think the question we must ask is, why are we so desperate to be with someone?
That is a good question. And I think I know the answer. We think that if we have someone, we are someone.
That is deep. If we have someone, we will be someone. We even talk about finding our soulmate or finding our other half, as though we are not enough if we are single.
That reminds me of the very first step in the belief journey, where Jesus meets the woman at the well who had 5 husbands. But Jesus says to her, "Until you find me, you'll never find what you're looking for."
So we need to work on ourselves and work on our relationship with God. He is the rock on which we stand, not the person we fall in love with.
But I don't think we are saying, put Jesus first and then you will find someone and it will all work out. That's not true. Even people who love God can have problems with their romantic relationships.
Which is what I liked about the Bible passage. To make a relationship work, you need 2 people who know how to genuinely care for another person, to speak the truth in a wise way, to be patient and kind and all that stuff.
Relationships are a lot of work. If you marry one day, you are promising to work on the relationship for the rest of your life.
But when you are young, you are not ready to make that kind of commitment to someone. Besides, if you put all that work into a love relationship, it means you can't grow in all other ways. There is a verse in the Bible that says being single is wise if you are not ready. A single man is concerned about the Lord's matters. He wants to know how he can please the Lord, but a married man wants to know how he can please his wife. His concerns pull him in 2 directions. I'm saying those things for your own good. I'm not trying to hold you back. I want you to be free to live in a way that is right. I want you to give yourselves completely to the Lord. This is found in 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 32 to 35.
That seems wise. Emotional relationships require a lot of energy. energy that we could use to grow socially and spiritually, to enjoy hobbies and other interests, and to develop our gifts and talents.
Besides, we will have so much more to give to someone one day if we have taken the time to invest in our personal growth before we get together with them. Being single helps us to get ready for real love.
But there is another perspective. I don't think it's wrong to have a girlfriend or a boyfriend.
Yes, it is not a sin or anything like that. It's just that most times it may not be the wisest thing to do.
Sure, but what happens if two people like each other?
I think it's okay to enjoy the exciting feeling. Being in love is amazing. The question is what to do with the feeling.
I would say what we have been saying all along. Be wise. Ask yourself if you are ready for it. Is the other person ready for it? Do they share the same values as you? If you love Jesus, do they love Jesus? Don't be in a hurry. Go super slow. Remember, love is patient.
And one more bit of wisdom. Speak to a caring adult who knows you well and who also knows the other person. Listen to their advice. I think many people who are now heartbroken wish they had received wisdom from others before starting a relationship.
Yes, and get some good role models if you start a relationship. Many of us come from broken homes, so we have no idea how a relationship is supposed to work and what it means to really care for someone. So get that wisdom.
And, sorry to say it, also get wisdom about how to end a relationship in the correct way if that's what it comes to. Too many people break up badly and they badmouth that person to everyone else.
Yes, that's not wise at all, and it is not a loving thing to do.
What about the sexual side of the relationship?
That's a great question, but we have run out of time. The good news is that the next step in our growth journey covers that.
Until next time, keep on reaching for life.
Indeed. Let's reach for life. And here are the contact details for you to use. Email us using info@twrafrica.org. info@twrafrica.org. And WhatsApp us on +27 78 014 7955 +27 78 014 7955. If you send us a WhatsApp message or indeed an email, we will send you a link for many resources on Reach for Life. My friends in the program have been Ogionke Stole, Busisiwe Matebule, Angana Kaonga, Monica Mrava, and Melinda Kajilima. You've been with me, Victor. Join me next time as we keep on reaching for life.
You are King.